I love a martini.
See, I like mine wet and filthy. And I like a blue cheese olive.
No, this is blasphemy.
Stanley Tucci, we had 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah.
We were drunk.
Stanley, you haven't actually cooked for me. I have a memory of us talking about you cooking for me, but I can't remember
Straight to the camera.
that you've honoured that suggestion. My mother going, well, what the beep, beep, beep are we going to eat? We existed, our lunchtime was Knorr packet soup with mashed potato.
Did you like it?
We were hungry kids,
Yeah.
so we just, it was fine, it was food.
You haven't had breakfast today. Why deny yourself a little boiled egg?
I did have a boiled egg.
Oh, well, you did eat them.
Or something.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Table Manners. I'm Jessie and I have a bit of a lisp because I've just been to the dentist, so enjoy that.
Oh dear.
How are you, Mum? Not well.
The hip's not good.
Oh,
darling.
Mum.
Yeah.
Are you going to be Bionic Woman by next season?
Possibly before
Are you going to go off at security?
I don't know, darling, but there's something not right. And he said I've got to try and walk with crutches. I'm 74, I'm not going to manage crutches, am I?
You do look fabulous with a walking stick.
Do I?
I'm sorry.
Good week this week for you, darling.
Why? What happened to me this
Well,
week?
I heard you sing again.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sung in Kingston. It was so nice. I did an acoustic show, which is the last one that I'm going to do before I go and do the big arena shows.
Do you think you do any acoustics on your arena shows?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I think you should. Darling, I was thinking, champagne kisses come down in a champagne glass. Who's the person
Dita Von Teese?
That's it. I'll hold the string.
God, no, not with your shaky hip, thanks.
No.
We have Ralph Fiennes on today. You went to see the play this week.
Grace Pervades.
Grace Pervades. It's at the
I thought it was going to be
Haymarket.
a person called Grace Pervades, but it's not. It's Grace pervading the stage.
It's a new David Hare play.
When I was collecting the chicken yesterday from Ginger Pig, everyone said, "Who's on tomorrow then, Len?" And I said, "Oh, Ralph Fiennes." They said,
"Wow,
the best of the British actors ever."
Yeah.
And people regard him so highly because of all the things he's done.
From English Patient to
Menu.
Oh, the Menu! I
Conclave.
loved that. Conclave was
Could
fantastic.
he not have been the best ever in that?
He was Heathcliff. See, I can't say it. Heathcliff.
No, who with?
Juliette Binoche, I think it was.
Oh my word!
Yeah, on telly.
I never thought.
I wonder if he's seen Jacob, what he thought of Jacob's performance.
We had a French Kathy.
I think so, and we're very excited to have him today. This is
So
a big deal.
exciting.
He's, got a show tonight. What have you cooked?
Well, it's kind of it kind of was a spring day when I decided to do it. And I'm going to Greece this week. So I decided to do Greek chicken with lemon potatoes.
Whose recipe?
It was on Instagram, a Greek woman.
Okay.
But it's perfect because it's those lemony potatoes that we love.
The waxy ones?
Golden potatoes from Ocado, obviously.
Okay.
And they just look a bit more waxy and nicer colour than normal potatoes.
I was listening to his episode with Ruthie Rogers, and he does love to cook.
Oh, does he?
He's got a place in Italy, so I'm...
Oh, well, and I've done Greek. So
Well,
if
that's
I'd known
okay.
that before...
Oh, no, I think that's safer.
Okay,
And then what
safer.
have you done for pud?
I've made a panna cotta with sour cherries on the top.
Oh my God, I love that.
He can have... I've left them in the bowl rather than blobbing them out. He can have passion fruit on the top, depending how passionate he's feeling today.
Ralph Fiennes coming up on Table Manners.
Can't wait.
Ralph Fiennes, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having
and
me.
making such an effort. You look so dashing.
Do I?
Yeah. You came in with a really fab hat as well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just starting this run of Grace Pervades,
Yeah.
this new play by David Hare, which we transferred from Theatre Royal Bath, which is a season I helped to create last year. And it's exciting to have a new play in the West End.
Yeah. How was the show last night?
It was good. I mean, I think my own compass on how the show's going is very subjective, so you don't really know. You have a sense of it, but often your sense of how a show goes is not accurate. I don't know how to mark it. You have a vibe.
Everyone
Yeah.
was on their feet when I was there.
Mum went to see it. I'm really
yeah.
annoyed that I couldn't make the same night. So
You'll have to go.
Mum loved it.
I loved it.
It's an interesting story.
For people that haven't heard about
Yeah.
the play, can you just explain what it's about?
Yes. The title Grace Pervades is actually taken from a description of Ellen Terry, whether in movement or repose, Grace pervades the hussy, which was what a theatre writer called Charles Reade wrote about Ellen Terry, a great Victorian actress. And I read a wonderful book by a man called Michael Holroyd, a great biographer. Michael Holroyd wrote a book called A Strange Eventful History, which is the story of Ellen Terry and her acting partner, Henry, or Sir Henry Irving.
Who you play.
Oh, I play. And the story of their partnership as two actors in the late 19th century in London is extraordinary. Henry Irving created a very particular kind of theatre. At that time, mostly audiences went to see in the dramatic theatre great actors do their stuff, but there was the idea of a director's theatre didn't really exist. So Henry Irving was a driven man, driven to be a better actor, became well known, was given the run of the Lyceum Theatre, which is where now the Lion King plays. And he created, using extraordinary stage effects, lighting effects, the best painters of the day to paint the scenery, design the scenery. And he was becoming a great and recognized actor, and he invited the young Ellen Terry who'd come from a family of actors to be his leading lady. And they shone together. The English theatre had never seen anything quite like the sort of detailed magnificence of his productions, something extraordinary. Audiences came in their thousands and hundreds to see what he was doing.
Expensive productions.
Expensive,
yeah.
Very, very expensive productions. But initially, the attendance was so great that he was in profit. And it was a big, big thing. And then fashions changed, and then his theatre became outmoded, and in the end, the play reflects how in the end he got into trouble, had to sell the theatre. But I think the play celebrates their relationship, which we think was at one point romantic. And also the play examines her two illegitimate children. So another interesting thing is that she had conceived two children out of wedlock with a well-known architect called William Godwin, with whom she was very in love. Before that, she had a disastrous marriage to a famous painter called G.F. Watts, who was about 40 and she was about 18. That didn't work. So she had quite a dramatic love life. And she was an extraordinary woman, and she got married to an actor. Well, Victorian society is really interesting because people were doing their thing under the radar, but you couldn't do it on the surface. I mean, you could not have, obviously, love open. You couldn't live with someone and be unmarried in Victorian times. It would be scandalous. So she was out in the wilderness for a bit when she'd conceived two children, was living with William Godwin. That's background to the play. The point of the play is about theatre and the people who make theatre and the relationships behind the work that they're doing. So the central theme of the piece is Ellen and Henry and the theatre that he is making and her relationship. A running parallel to that is the story of her two children, which is very, very, very interesting because her son, Edward Gordon Craig, their illegitimate son, became one of the most important ideas people in the theatre, an iconoclastic, opinionated, brilliant artist, difficult to work with, but his ideas, his revolutionary ideas, I mean, provocative ones, get rid of actors, let's just have puppets. But basically he was trying to upend the sort of theatre Henry Irving was creating. And he didn't do a lot. He did do a famous production of Hamlet in Moscow with the great Russian actor-director Stanislavski. The designs are incredible. You can see the designs. They are stunning. He was a great artist. I think he was not a great director. But he became very, very famous because his ideas were sort of exciting. His sister, Edith, also directed plays mostly with a feminist or political slant out of a barn in Kent. And she produced a lot of plays, living with her girlfriends. She was certainly lesbian, and they lived together in a sort of small woman's community, and that's in the play. You see an insight into the way David Hare has imagined that. But she was an activist, and the irony is she's not that well known, but she probably produced loads of plays, and her brother was very famous and did very little, and David Hare has fun with that. in the play.
You said that you read a book about this, and then did you approach David Hare to write this play?
I pitched it as an idea. I mean, he may well have said, doesn't interest me, Ralph, but I had a feeling. I know David and admire him hugely, and I know his passion for what the theatre can do, and that's been his life, writing for the theatre, and what the provocation a play can create, and how it can move and excite people's souls, I think, as well as their minds. Anyway, I've worked with him, and I've just had a hunch that the theme of the theatre and how the theatre has changed in this country, I thought it would appeal. And he went away and read the book, and then read, and there's massive amount of material on Irving and Ellen. I mean, there's lots you can read. And he researched and came up with this, I believe, wonderful play.
So how long has it been in the making for?
Well, I must have thrown the idea at him about 3 years ago now. And then he went away and read it, and then read the book. And then I was invited to run a season at Theatre Royal Bath by Danny Moore, the director of Bath. And I said yes, and I wanted 2 new plays. And David had written it in time for us to do this season of plays that started a year ago. So a year ago, we were in rehearsals for Grace Pervades the first time round.
How do you wind down after a show? Is there any food that you eat particularly, or you need a drink? Or
a drink is always a good thing.
A drink?
Yeah.
What are you having?
Yeah.
Well, I will try and offer a glass of champagne to guests in the dressing room. Otherwise, I love a martini.
How do you take your martini?
Very dry. Ideally, I don't do that. I haven't got to this stage yet in the dressing room. But a dressing room post-show blah blah aside, you should chill the glass, freeze the glass so it's cold.
Yeah.
And a vodka or gin. I prefer gin. I think you should keep the gin in the freezer.
What sort of gin?
Tanqueray 10 I like.
I agree.
And I think you rinse the frozen glass, with a little bit of dry vermouth.
Right.
Just rinse it.
Yeah.
And chuck it so that it's just coated.
Get it out of there, yeah.
Yeah, then pour in. You shouldn't need to shake and all that stuff, because your gin is already frozen.
Okay, so that was all silly with Bond, the shaken not stirred thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happens is you tend to get a lot of the ice starts to melt in the shaking,
we don't want
you
that.
get
we
a
want
bit
pure
of
alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So pour in your Tanqueray 10 into the glass that's been rinsed with the dry vermouth, and a little sliver of lemon.
See, I like mine wet and filthy, Ralph. Unfortunately, so we wouldn't be sharing a martini.
No,
I'd like to try yours.
I would like to try a wet and filthy martini.
I like it with more is more for me. So I want like the blue. I mean,
what do you tell me how you?
I like
you
a
do
vodka
it.
one, and I like lots of vermouth.
Lots of vermouth.
Well, I know. But I do think it sounds more chic doing a rinse. And then you chuck it out. I like it. It's dramatic, and I like it. And I like a blue cheese olive and lots of brine.
A blue cheese olive?
Yeah, have you never had a dirty martini with a blue cheese olive?
Is it olive with blue cheese in it?
Yes.
No, this is blasphemy, heresy.
But it must all leak out and make it all
it's delicious.
But it makes it
It's delicious.
Cheese in a martini.
I
think you should not knock it until you've tried it. Let's start from kind of the beginning. Can you paint a picture of who was around the dinner table and what was a very memorable dish from your childhood?
Well, a lot of people around the dinner table.
Yeah, well, I'm the eldest of 6.
Wow.
So there was mostly 8 around the table. And meals were, we didn't eat fancy food. My parents were often up against it financially. So we were there were regular trips to the cash and carry to get the supermarket food. And
your dad was a farmer?
He started off farming, and then he became a photographer. But a Sunday lunch would be roast chicken and potatoes and vegetables and things like that. And I do remember occasionally my parents making spaghetti bolognese, and so our food was get the food in the mouths of the children. Get your carbs in the kids' mouths. And my mother made wonderful soups. But they were very good cooks. But often I just have my childhood memory is, often it's a bought pie or something from the supermarket, just to eat for ease. But macaroni cheese or fish pie or shepherd's pie or those sort of stalwart dishes that just give energy and feed people.
And you were the eldest. And how many brothers, how many sisters?
There's 4 boys and 2 girls.
And did you live on a farm?
Initially, yeah, but then my father was a tenant farmer in Suffolk.
Farming what?
It was crops. And he did have some sheep, but I think it was peas and barley, wheat.
Did you have to help?
I was a child.
I
was 6 years old.
But didn't they have the children helping, like collecting eggs and
probably less help?
No. Yeah. But you have to remember that I was 6 years old when we left.
Okay. Oh, fine. And where did you move?
We moved into North Dorset, and then my father became a photographer.
So memories of the meal times were kind of home cooked food, but
sometimes I'm afraid sort of bought supermarket food for ease. But then I think as we got older and that sort of pressure to get the food, I mean, there was a time when we'd moved to Ireland, and my parents were we had a romantic move to the coast of West Cork and built a house. But there was difficult financial times, so we'd sold the house in Dorset and built this house. My father built a house in a fantastic site on Dunmanus Bay, but there was no income. He didn't really have I think he thought he would buy. There are lots of wonderful sites then with planning permission that you could buy in Ireland. I think he thought he would develop properties, but it wasn't his thing. He wasn't. I mean, he was brilliant with his hands and he could build and make a house, but that wasn't his business. So we were sort of stuck out there.
What age was that?
I was 10. Stuck out there with this wonderful house and this amazing ocean and mountains behind and a lake behind us. And my mother going, what the beep are we going to eat and how do we get by? And there were weeks how we existed. Our lunchtime, we might have had a piece of chicken or a pie, but the lunch was Knorr packet soup with mashed potato.
Oh.
That's what it was.
Did you like it?
We were hungry kids, so it was fine. It was food.
I was just telling Jessie that my friend had some Italian friends staying over and they stayed in the Ellen Hotel in Kensington, which was her house.
Oh, really?
Yes. So there's a hotel called the Ellen
Hotel,
and that's her house. You'll have to go there.
The place that people, if they're interested at all in this Ellen Terry story, was to visit Smallhythe in Kent, which is the home... which is featured in the play.
Yes,
where she bought and Edie, her daughter, lived there. And it's now a National Trust property.
Is it?
It's a wonderful museum with artefacts from her working life and lots artefacts from Henry Irving's working life and the famous Lady Macbeth dress she wore with the green beetle wings stitched into it. That's there. It's really worth a trip.
But she was very avant-garde, so she accepted her daughter was a lesbian and lesbian friends, and she liked being with them.
Yes.
And her son, she promoted him as much as she could.
That's right. Exactly right.
And they're all very...
I think she's very open.
She was
incredibly open.
That's what I liked about the play, because it was about emancipation as well.
It is. It's about emancipation. Exactly.
And I thought that was very interesting.
No, that's a big thing.
Do you eat before? Is this going to be your last meal before you go on stage tonight?
No, I'll probably have something a bit later on, around about 5 o'clock.
What will you have at about 5? Does it change? Or are you kind of stickler for...
Well, I was very lucky that last weekend I had some friends over. I didn't cook myself because I get up late from here into this place I have in Suffolk. But I had asked someone I know to make a wonderful fish stew, and I've still got
a little bit over.
So that I'm finishing it off.
Oh, I hope you've had it in the freezer.
Oh yeah, I've had it in.
Good. Otherwise you'll have a
fine.
bad.
When I listened to your Ruthie Rogers episode, you're really good friends. We've had Ruthie on the podcast too. Love her. She talks about how you'd call her up from like the market in Italy and tell her what you were thinking of making or what you just eaten. So, are you quite a foodie?
Oh,
I
am a foodie. Yes.
Yeah.
I love food, and of course, Ruthie's River Cafe is great. But yes, I have asked her advice, and probably annoyingly, I'm often referring to one of the River Cafe cookbooks, and will ring her up. Must be very irritating.
No,
what this recipe, Ruthie? What do you think? Should I add more of this? It says this. I'm not sure about this. I love to cook, but I cook simple food, I think. I like.
Well, hang on, you did talk about having Ottolenghi and liking a lot of cooking of Ottolenghi, which is not simple.
No, that's not
all.
simple. When we had lockdown, and I was experimenting. I was in Suffolk, but in a little cottage, and I did experiment with Ottolenghi. I had the time to go to the supermarket and get
all the things you need.
All those exotic spices.
Are you hungry, by the way?
I am. Yeah.
Good.
I haven't eaten yet today.
Oh, so if we were coming round to your house and you were cooking for us, and you had the time, what do you think that you would be serving? What's your your go-to dish that you know is a bit of a showstopper?
I would try to. I've loved cooking the Ottolenghi slow-cooked lamb, which you have to marinate if you can for a day or two before, and you cook it for 4 or 5 hours.
And then it's quite easy because you just bung it in and then you don't have to think about it.
Yeah, but it's also, it soaks in all these spices and juices. And
what are you serving it with?
I'd probably serve with some simple green vegetable, maybe like some spinach or something.
Okay.
It's a meal in itself. Cause it's,
has it got potatoes and stuff like that?
No, it's got carrots. I think it's got celeriac and garlic and it's a sort of lot of stuff with it. So I would then serve something light and green.
Right. Okay.
And I would probably most likely. I'm into steaming.
Steaming.
Yeah.
Is that a new thing, or you've always been big into
Relatively new for me because
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Because I think the steaming that looks amazing.
Okay, it's a Greek chicken really with lemony potatoes, very lemony potatoes. I hope they're my favourite. And then we've got a spinach, sugar snap peas, and asparagus salad with some pumpkin seeds on the top.
So, have you got a sweet tooth?
I don't eat puddings a lot, but I do have a sweet tooth. Yeah, I do.
Take the potatoes; they should be really lemony and nice. I hope.
It's lovely. It's light, Mum.
The chicken is perfect.
Okay,
Can I just say the chicken is perfect?
Right.
Okay, good.
It's perfect. He's got to go on stage. He doesn't want to go to sleep, does he?
No.
From what I gather from your siblings, you're all quite artistic. And they will do very different things. Isn't there an archaeologist with one of you? And
Mick, who was adopted by my parents, he made some fantastic discoveries up in Cheshire.
Wow.
A few years ago. And I have 2 sisters who are filmmakers.
So where did that all come from? Because your dad was a photographer. Your mum, did she work?
My mum was a writer. Most of the time she was bringing up her children. She'd published 2 novels before she met my father.
Wow.
And had good response as being an interesting young voice. Then she met my father and they started to have children in rapid succession. And then we all grew up with my mother voicing increasingly her frustration that she couldn't find time to write. Well, she did, but it was always a struggle for her to sort of leave the children to go and write, but she did. And my father lent into the photography, which for many years was a struggle. But we went to Ireland, came back to England.
Was she completely mad about him?
Yes.
And so wherever he went, she was prepared to follow.
Well, I think she led some of the... She was very much a motivator for the move to Ireland, being Catholic and loving literature, and they went on a photographic job to Ireland, and my parents together fell in love with it. My mother particularly, because at the time having 6 children in England was quite a big thing. In Ireland, it was nothing. There were families with 8, 9, 10, 11 children. So you were completely accepted.
Are you Catholic?
I was Catholic, yeah. I brought up Catholic.
So
yeah.
Conclave, that was
amazing.
Amazing. Was it filmed in Rome?
Not in the Vatican, but it was filmed in Rome, and in Cinecittà, though. Yeah, that was my Catholic upbringing was useful. I mean, I've always had an interest in faith and belief, and I think that's the sort of legacy of my upbringing. And my mother's side, we had my mother's brothers were priests and or theologians, and her uncles were priests and or theologians. Benedictine monk, my great uncle, Sebastian Moore, who's quite well known. So I've had sort of God discussions around the table, often with my mother leading the charge on discussions about God.
So she was a believer throughout her life?
Yeah, she was. I think she started to be more questioning about the way that any any religion can be dogmatic.
Yeah.
And to some people, that dogmatism is appealing. And other people, they butt against it when the rules of religions start to go against what you're living through, when they become pedantic. And I think everyone wrestles with the rules different religions want to impose.
But I think Conclave was interesting about whether you could move forward as a religion and have someone as your Pope who was completely different, who had a different kind of following, really, and a different mission.
But I think the Catholic Church has changed massively.
Do you think it has? I wondered about that.
Yeah, conversations I had with priests as part of my research, I get the sense of, the Catholic Church has been challenged by lots of issues. There are priests in the Catholic Church who recognise the challenges that the modern world presents the Church.
I mean, you've played so many different roles, but which one do you feel didn't leave you? Which was the hardest to leave you after immersing yourself in it?
The 3 films that I've been lucky enough to direct and play in, those were the hardest because the combination of playing a role and directing, so that you're going on to edit and confront the part you've shot, and for some reason you're left still having to look at your film and you in it, and that's hard to leave because you're confronted with having to edit yourself as well as other people. And by necessity, you can't let go. It's quite a funny place to put your head because usually it's actually a relief. You've played the part, you've done the research, whatever, you've been in it, you've tried to immerse yourself in the part for every shooting day. Then the last day of filming, let it go. It's done. I can... there are parts I've loved.
Would you like some more?
I would, yeah.
Please.
Have you ever had someone here, you opened a bottle of wine?
Yeah, we've got
and
very
they
drunk.
sit and they don't have to go off to do a play.
Stanley Tucci was
got so drunk with Stanley Tucci.
Unravel here with...
Are you wishing you didn't have to go and do the play tonight?
I can imagine another version of this where we open a really good bottle of wine and...
and we relax.
Yeah. Mum prefers it.
I much prefer it.
Yeah, and I would, if I didn't have this...
She had to kick Ed Miliband out.
Yeah, Stanley Tucci had... Do you want some juice on it?
Thank you.
Stanley Tucci, we had 2 bottles of wine.
Yeah,
we were drunk.
He did bring wine with him, and he's a very good man.
Speaking of Stanley Tucci, has he ever cooked for you? He's always at that kitchen doing a demo for us all, and we all want to be invited over to that gorgeous...
Stanley, you haven't actually cooked for me.
Oh.
You took me out for lovely meals in Rome, and I have a memory of us talking about you cooking for me, but I can't... remember
straight to the camera.
That you've honoured that suggestion.
You know what? I'm going to look at the camera too and say, Stanley, I think it's time for you to invite us over. And he says that no one invites him over. Well, I don't see the invite here, Stanley. So Ralph, Lenny and Jessie will come over for dinner.
Yeah.
And I'll bring a 6-pack of wine.
What? A 6-pack?
Of wine.
Like we're going to a house
6
party.
bottles.
So you love breakfast, don't you? Me too. But you haven't had breakfast today. Is this something that you don't do when you're on stage?
Well, I thought I knew I was going to have a substantial
lunch.
lunch.
Yeah, but why deny yourself a little boiled egg?
I did have a boiled egg.
Oh, well, you did eat them.
It was something.
You're a liar.
Yeah.
I do.
It wasn't it wasn't the breakfast.
It's not a full English.
I must have a boiled egg just to have something to keep me.
Just to line the stomach.
Do you like it hard boiled or soft?
I like it hard boiled. Yeah.
Oh, you see,
I will eat a soft boiled egg, but I will. But maybe just a slightly soft yolk, but not.
Did you have bread with it?
No.
Just the egg.
Salt and pepper.
I just had egg and I had a bit of cucumber, a bit of cheese.
You had a breakfast. I hate to break it to you, Ray. That's a breakfast. You did eat before you came.
That's a snack.
That's not what he
That's
feels
snack.
that's a snack.
Smoked salmon, scrambled eggs.
Oh, delicious.
Smoked salmon can go very wrong, I feel.
No, it can't.
You have to be in control of the right smoked salmon. Otherwise,
That's
I feel
true.
like
If
it's too thickly cut, it makes me feel gross.
Yeah.
It can be slightly too fishy.
Yeah.
Like it has to be from the right spot.
So where do you like
Well,
yours
I always buy it and then I forget about it and then it goes off in my fridge and then nobody else eats it in my house. So
There are. Don't ask me to name the brand, but there are brands of smoked salmon which are very good, I think.
Panzer's is good.
Yeah, Panzer's is the best. If you live in St John's Wood, you're blessed.
Yeah.
Panzas?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a wonderful deli that just is so delicious. All the food is great there.
Do you live in London?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But you've got Suffolk as well.
I've got a little place I can run away to, a field I can go and hide in.
And then Italy. Do you go to Italy still?
I do, yeah. A friend of mine was renting a house, an American friend, and said to me and my then partner, please use it. And we went there and loved it. And then when this friend gave up the rental of that house, I took it on. And I've kept it. So I rent it all year round.
Is it near a big town?
It's about 45 minutes north of Perugia.
Oh, lovely. And have you got a local restaurant?
Yeah.
And what would be your favourite dish there?
Chickpea soup.
Oh, wow.
Zuppa di ceci.
I've never
Nonna
made that.
gelsa.
What's that mean?
I think it means Granny gelsa.
Oh, okay. I thought it was without angels. Oh, Nonna gelsa.
Nonna gelsa.
And then after?
They do this wonderful lamb chops, agnello scottadito.
You love lamb.
I do too. I've made panna cotta, and you can either have a topping of cherries or passion fruit.
Mum, they're sour cherries though.
They're not very sour because I made them.
What do you recommend I have?
Well, I don't know whether you've got a very sweet tooth because it's quite sweet, and I quite like the cherries, but I think passion fruit might make it a bit crunchier and sour.
Why don't you have a bit of both?
Because it won't work,
Okay,
darling.
fine.
Yeah.
What do you want, Rafe?
This is how it works. This is, yeah.
This is us on best behaviour.
This is us not shouting at each other.
I'd like to try the passion fruit.
Okay.
Are you now looking at the cherry and regretting your decision?
I can give you cherry as well. So you
I'm
can
very
have
happy with what I've
fine.
chosen.
Okay.
So, Last Supper, starter, what are we having, Rafe?
This is going to sound so boring because if it's my last supper, I want to eat things that are fresh and pure, and so I would just have a selection of raw vegetables.
Okay, let's not say you're not dying. You're going to a desert island instead. Would that change it from raw vegetables, or would it still?
Well,
be
look,
that?
I like very simple things. So if I had like some asparagus just grilled with, and I like maybe some hummus with some chopped fennel or a carrot. I like stuff that's just genuinely fresh. It's got to be fresh. It's got to be pulled from the ground.
Okay.
Just before, and or cooked, or if it's cooked very gently, but really, really fresh. If it's my last supper, I want to taste the fruits of the earth as from the purest form. I mean, I don't, something that's come from someone's garden or my own garden that is just. And then I think I'm not a vegetarian, so I would love, I suppose, a really good steak.
How are you having it cooked, and what are the condiments?
It'd have to be really one of those steaks that's hung for dry aged 40 whatever days, hung really, really tender beef, grass fed.
Chips or mash?
Yes. Some really good chips.
Okay. Béarnaise?
No. Just make sure the steak is salted to the right degree.
Yeah. Are you good at making steak? Mm-hmm. I'm not. Yeah. Can't do it. Always cock it up.
I mean, or as the official alternative, like a healthily sourced, well-sourced fish.
Which one?
Line caught, I guess, a sea bass.
No, it's not my favourite.
Sorry, I know it's your last.
I like turbot.
It's not doing it for me, right?
Do you like turbot?
I do. Yeah.
I like halibut.
Sea bass.
Do you ever go to Jay Shiki after? Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone goes to Jay Shiki. You've never been, have you?
No, I know, but they invited me to be an ambassador, and I was like, I've never bloody been. Like, how can I be an ambassador if I've never been?
Picture up on
the thing is, the Last Supper is a hard one, isn't it? Because some you might think it's got to be the most extraordinary, voluptuous meal. If it is the Last Supper, if you know it's your Last Supper, like you're being led out to die, then I want to have something that's really simple. That's my instinct speaking.
Hood? No.
Nice cheese.
Okay, what's on the cheese board?
I don't know. I mean, any a selection.
You love cheese. What did you have with your breakfast this morning?
A piece of manchego.
Oh,
that's unusual for breakfast because it's quite hard.
It's my snack. I keep on saying.
Sorry.
It wasn't my breakfast.
Sorry.
It was my snack.
Sorry, yeah. Did you have membrillo with it?
No.
God,
membrillo is good. I have that.
Isn't it?
Manchego, membrillo.
Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
I love a sweet condiment.
I don't like thick, gooey, oversweet hoods. This is fantastic, by the way.
Do you like it?
Yeah,
This is great, Mum.
Yeah. Do you like?
These are the tiniest cherries I've ever seen in my life.
They were frozen cherries, don't they?
Oh, right.
This
okay.
is really, really, really good.
Oh, good.
Maybe I'd have this.
Do you like the passion fruit?
Would you cook
with
my
it?
last supper?
I will do, darling, of course.
What?
As long as I can see you every
Drinks.
day and watch the play. I might have to come again, actually, because I enjoyed it so much.
I'll bring the blue cheese olives and we'll have a drink together. We'll have a martini. No.
Okay.
I'm not invited.
Michael McIntyre was sitting behind me in the theatre. Did he come back and say hello?
He did.
Good.
Do you find it a bit annoying when people come back and say hi? Do you a bit like, oh God, can't be asked tonight?
It's a funny one, right? Because, of course, you're really happy people have come to see the show, and I love it. But often you then, if every night people are coming, you do suddenly find yourself saying,
performing.
Is there a night when no one's in so I can just go out with my mates?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
But it's like you have to entertain.
But I mean, you want people to, of course, in the end, you're very happy people have come. It's all who's in the mix, you know. I mean, also, and what the part you've played. I've played some parts, say Macbeth, for instance, where you're completely wrecked afterwards, and that's hard because of what you've gone through on stage, what you've tried to reenact on stage. It's all you're wrung out, so your social skills are kind of very diluted. Playing Henry Irving in this play isn't so bad. I mean, I love the part, and also on top of all that, you come off stage with a sort of energy and you're adrenalized.
Good.
So with this, I feel I come off stage. There's a sort of lovely bittersweet ending to the play. It's not a horrendous cut your wrists tragedy. You're often happy to see people who've come.
Yes.
And so you're ready for a bit of a drink and a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, can you give us a nostalgic taste that can transport you back somewhere?
I used to work with a dear friend of my father's who was a farmer. I worked on his farm, and he used to cook saffron sausages in saffron.
Oh, wow.
And if ever I have sausages in saffron, which I sometimes make for myself, I'm transported back to working on a farm in summer.
That's a lovely, lovely memory.
How do you put the saffron? Just put it in the frying pan?
Yes, yeah.
Wow. Because it's quite a strong taste.
Yeah, don't put too much.
Do you like music when you're eating, or do you like to read or sit in silence?
It's different moods on different days. I think sometimes you're ready to have some background music. And
who would you choose for your soundtrack?
Oh my God.
Who do you like? Just kind of to relax you and enjoy eating.
I love solo vocalists, singers. Yeah. They can be anyone from Nina Simone to Johnny Cash to Bob Dylan to famous opera singers like Dietrich Fischer-Dieskau. I mean, I love the human voice singing. I think it's the most wonderful thing to hear a great vocalist sing. And so I would put on Edith Piaf or Billie Holiday, PJ Harvey. I like, is it Rosalia?
Oh my
yes.
God, I'm so angry that I missed that performance. It looked incredible.
I mean, I like singers. I come across new singers. I love that.
Did you get pulled into Rosalia when the kind of more classical reference stuff, or were you a bit of a Motomami?
No, what's the recent album?
Lux.
Is it quite religious?
Well, she's playing...
There's religious notes, isn't there?
Oh, I mean, she sings in about 9 different languages.
Very beautiful as well.
She's incredible.
Yeah.
What do you like to listen to?
Oh my God.
No.
Can you sing for us now?
No. Can you act for me now? Yeah, probably
can.
Yeah,
He's just turned it on.
No, you can come to a show of mine.
Okay.
And I'll come to a show of yours.
Jessie's performing at the O2, so you'll have to come and see her in November if you're here.
Yeah, you should come.
Okay, I'm going to come.
It's camp.
Okay.
It's fun. Anyway, Ralph Fiennes, break a leg tonight. Thank you so much for coming over and being such a wonderful guest.
Thank you for having me for such fantastic food.
Pleasure.
Wonderful chicken, wonderful panna cotta.
Pleasure.
I've loved talking to you both. Thank you.
And how long is Grace Pervades on for?
Grace Pervades is at the Theatre Royal Haymarket until July the 11th.
Okay, great.
Thursday and Saturday matinees.
It's on my programme.
Fiennes wants to come again and have a boozy dinner with us.
I think he was a bit jealous of Stanley's lunch.
Yeah.
2 bottles of wine, and he didn't drink at all.
Poor Rafe has to go to the West End now and do a very good performance.
I know.
Thank you to Ralph Fiennes for coming on the podcast. You were brilliant, intense, thoughtful.
I love the way he talked about the play, because he's
so passionate
and passionate about it. And it really is a tribute to great Victorian actors.
The food was delicious, thank you. He had seconds.
A bit hard potatoes, but then they softened.
They were nice potatoes, though.
Yeah.
They weren't undercooked. They just weren't like... But then maybe it's better than them falling apart.
They're not exactly as
They're not a Greek potato.
No. Why is that?
Well, because you didn't use Greek potatoes, Mum.
Do you think that's the reason?
Yeah, that will do it.
That they don't absorb the lemon as much?
Well, it was still really nice.
Good.
Your panna cotta, very delicious.
Good.
Thank you so much, Mum. And all done on a bad hip.
All done with
it's on me next
poorly
time.
hip. Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes is in Grace Pervades until mid-July, so go and check it out. We'll see you next week for more Table Manners.